I'm hearing some feedback. Can you
Um, you want me to
hmm,
down?
yeah, maybe turn it down and see.
Does
Hello,
that help?
hello, hello, hello. Okay, I don't know. That's better. I don't know what you did, but it's better. Okay,
Okay,
all
I
right.
can turn it.
Oh, I think we're on.
Yeah.
We're on live. We are on. Hello, everybody. How are you today? This is Misty Moon, and I'm so excited to do another session of hot seat coaching with moi, Misty Moon. And I have my beloved, dear, sacred woman, sister Roni. And thank you again, sweetheart, for taking time out to talk about time management. How you doing
Thank you
today?
for having me. I'm here. I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, so the reason why we do these hot seat coaches is because we're all a reflection of each other. And I know that I've struggled with time management. I mean, especially, the entrepreneurs, the mamas, the wives, the significant others, whatever. There's so much that we're juggling in this crazy, crazy world. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to take some of the gems and be able to relate to Lonnie's story and be able to walk away with some kind of inspiration and at least have one or two tools that you can use to tweak your life so that you can have more balance and more sustainability and not feel like you're constantly overwhelmed every single day that you wake up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So before we begin, I'm going to set the alarm for the timer for 15 minutes to respect your time. I'm still getting that feedback, but I'll just go with it.
Still? If I turn
Yeah.
you down anymore, I won't be able to hear you.
Okay. All right. That's cool. All right, honey bun. So what's going on? When it comes to time management, how does that currently look for you?
Um, I have lots of things to do on a daily basis, like Monday through Friday. My schedule is very packed. I've tried implementing using a planner, using a calendar, and I'll find myself going in and filling things out sometimes. And this is like I have a physical calendar, I have a planner, and I have my cell phone, right? So I'm like trying, to figure out what's going to be the best method of planning for me and for scheduling. And sometimes I'll write things down, but then I'll still forget them. I'll be aware or my timing isn't right, like today, where I knew I had to meet with you, but for some reason I kept telling myself 5 o'clock, but I wrote down 3. But then again, I didn't check my calendar this morning, when I was reminding myself, oh, you have to meet with Misty.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that's the thing that I've been trying to do, but it's like I'm not there yet.
Still a disconnect.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like I have to get into the habit, of checking my calendar every morning. Like getting up, and that's part of starting my morning ritual, like checking your calendar, seeing what you have to do today. Okay. So I'm making mental note of just from even this that, okay, you have to get on top of it. Like I was good about writing it down, but not checking it the next day, just confirming for myself.
Do you, on your smartphone, do you have, when it comes to your scheduling, do you put it in your smartphone calendar so that you get alerts?
I do, but the thing is, I didn't turn an alert on. That's what it was. I didn't have an alert on it, but it was scheduled in. Yeah.
Okay, that could be a good place to start. Yeah, okay. That could be a good place to start with the alerts. Okay, and then what else is going on? Is that pretty much, or is there like other layers?
I mean, there's just I have a very busy schedule on a day-to-day basis. So there's very seldom, like Thursdays are kind of my slow days. So I really have like 3 jobs, and I'm in school, and I am a mom. I have a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old, and they also have extracurricular activities that I have to make myself available for too. So I'm constantly running, you know. Um, so it's like I think I'm kind of fine tuning it to where I'm getting used to it now, so I'm not so exhausted, and trying to sneak breaks when I can. But it's just like I feel like there's a lot to do in a very little amount of time, and I've been trying to, be flexible with it, but I feel like at the same time I'm still trying to keep time for myself and my family and doing that, by like, okay, well, maybe if we move this thing from Monday to Sunday, then I'm like, oh no, my son has football on Sunday. And then, Sunday's kind of so it's like this, like back and forth of feeling like, am I doing too much? Is that what it is? Am I doing too much? Or, and part of entrepreneurship, it's like you almost have to like really just respect the hustle part of it, where it's like the late nights and the early mornings are just going to be part of it. So so when I find myself in this space of wanting to complain or like, oh, I'm tired, I'm not doing it, I'm like, that's not how people get to the top, like, so I'm like trying to push myself through, but it's just like, I'm busy. Like, I'm really busy, very busy.
So, and I'm, this is coming from the depths of my heart, because I totally get what you are going through as a entrepreneur in the making. That yes, the hustle is definitely real. However, we have to carve out some kind of time for ourselves. You're gonna burn your candles at both ends. And it could be something simple, like even if it's just like 15 minutes every other day. Like if you can only start off with like maybe a half an hour once a week, where like that half an hour is where you take your bath, or that half an hour is when you go for your walk, or you go in your room and you read your book. Some type of small little increment of time needs to be carved out. And so I learned this technique from another coach named Stacey Walker, which she does with her schedule. And this may be a little bit complicated for you since you have kids. When she writes out her schedule for the week, she designs her entire schedule around her self-care time. So
okay.
Wednesday at 5 o'clock from 5 to 6, that's my time. And then everything else gets scheduled around that. So I'm not sure how real that is, but that could be a start for you. Because because it's like, you can't take away your kids' activities. I don't know, maybe there could be some compromising as far as like, maybe call on someone to help, take them to their practices, like, and this is another thing about being a woman, is that we're so used to or conditioned to want to do it all on our own. And we have a hard time being vulnerable and reaching out for help. So that also can be your time management healing, is calling your child, does that sound realistic?
Yeah, it does. Because some days my dad has taken my son to football practice for me. Like he started doing that when he's available. So that does help. And opens up, my evenings, because his practices are Wednesdays from like 6 to 7:30. Then, that's like dinner time. So then it's like, rushing and doing all that stuff. So now with him doing that, I have a little bit more time on those evenings, Wednesday evenings to take care of that for me.
Okay. Now, would it be realistic for you and your dad to sit down and like maybe do like 2-week increments? Like sit down and, okay, for the next 2 weeks, schedule when he's going to pick up the kids and take them to practice, so that ahead of time. Because a trick with time management, Roni, is that the more strategic you are with planning, the more efficient you can be from day to day. The more freedom that actually gives you, because you know exactly what's happening. And then once you put that plan in, and once you have that schedule, then you have to commit to it. So again, coming back to the self-care, like if you say on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock from 5 to 6, it's going to be my time. By all means necessary, that's your time. Or there's 1 hour where you're going to dedicate that to your business. Then you have to commit to that. So again, just coming back to planning ahead. So I want to just take it baby steps and make sure that it's practical steps. So is that something that? So okay, besides your father, is there anyone else within your community that can help out with various aspects of your, like as far as cooking?
My mom does, and that's the thing about it, is that I have support. Like there's a lot of things that I wouldn't even be able to do the things that I am doing if it wasn't for the support of my mother and my father. Because like on Mondays I work. I am a contracted mentor at a high school, so I do that Mondays and Fridays. So my mom takes my kids to school, and either she or my dad will pick them up from school on Mondays and Fridays for me. Like they do that, and then also on Tuesdays I have school. And so my mom will take them to school and my dad will pick them up. So they are, so this is even still, you know what I'm saying? So this is this is even still with the support. You know, my dad just started helping me with my taking my son to the football, you know, so that's a little bit of that's more help, you know, when it's on my day, you know, it's when it's my day to kind of really, because Wednesdays and Thursdays I would say are my commitment, like pick up drop off days for the
Okay.
kids. You know, those are my committed days. And so there's also the I guess the parental like thing that kicks in where it's just like wanting to be present, like being present for my kids is very important, you know, because when I lived in Houston and I was working like 10 hours a day, I only seen them at night. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's this I'm trying to do the balance of, you know, because they pick them up and drop them off 3 days out of the, you know, the weekday. And then I had do the 2 Wednesday, Thursday, then of course the weekends, you know, they're all mine. And so it's like still there's just still so much to do.
Hey, Roni, honey, you're breaking up. Let's see. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Can you backtrack a little bit? So you you have the weekends that you're able to spend with your kids because you want to be
Yeah,
present
so
with them.
right. So that's something that's really important, you know, for me. So trying to handle all the entrepreneurial things, my standard work life, you know, and school, you know, so I'm in school, then I have homework for school and things like that. But, you know, being present for them is something that's really important for me, you know, so there's, you know, so struggling with, you know, getting help from the village and then making sure it's not too much, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, in a way where where the parent is not the one that's actually raising the child, you know. And I
Right.
feel like that's how most working parents lives are, and I don't think that we realize it. And so it's very important for me to be present for them, you know, but still trying to balance everything, you know. So I don't know, I think I'm in a forgiving space right now, kind of telling myself like, okay, we just need to get through this. Like if I can get to this next level where there's more money, more financial freedom, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of saying that this is a temporary thing for me. So I think in a way I'm probably making it an emotional mental thing, you know, more so because it's important to me based upon just like being a busy single mom, you know, when they were younger. So, you know, trying to be there and do those little things to take to school, to drop off, you know, to pick up, to help with homework. Those are little things that are important, you know, to me. So yeah. So it's like
And
I have the support, but
okay.
I guess I'm in a weird space, you know, with that as well.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, you have the support, you are being present with your children, but are I'm just curious if the missing link here is if you are carving out a space for you. And
Um,
because I'm curious if that, because yes, you want to be present with your kids. Yes, you're building your business, so you're gonna be in the grind for however long it takes before you reach that place of being sustainable. However, again, if you don't have that small little time carved out for you, again, even if it starts off with just an hour once a week, at least you know that week, that, you know, each week, that particular day for that hour, you're going to have your time so that you're able
yeah.
to feed yourself, regenerate, rejuvenate your energy so that you can continue holding space for your business and your children.
Hmm.
So does that sound about right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it sounds totally doable. And I think it's just about me just setting the intention to do it, you know,
Yeah,
just I think that's what it is. I don't think that it's impossible. You
it's
know, it's
definitely.
just about actually doing it, you know, and you know, and probably just finding ways to utilize time better, you know, like just little in between times or um yeah, just utilize I think just utilizing time better will probably help to make more time for me.
When it comes to dinner, do the kids help you?
Sometimes, majority of the times, it's like either me and my mom will cook, But sometimes every now and then, but not often.
Okay, well, could that be something that can be more of a regular thing? You know, just get them in the kitchen and they can help prep and make a party out of it. Put the music on, and you know, so that way you're kind of massaging two birds with one hand in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. That's doable. Yeah. I like that idea.
Okay. So to not overwhelm you and just to give you like a really just a few little tweaks. One, I would highly recommend as soon as you get off this call or this interview to put your alerts on your phone. And
Yeah.
like I don't know, Google Calendar.
Yeah, I use Google Calendar. Yeah.
There's Google. See, is it with Google? Because I know that I use because I actually use two calendars on my phone. I use a Google Calendar, calendar that's already installed. Do you have an iPhone?
Yeah, I do have an iPhone. And I moved to the Google Calendar just because one of the location that I have for Reiki, they use that calendar. So it's easy for me to look at everything, you know what I'm saying? Like have everything on one instead of trying to move, you know, things over to the other.
Okay,
so Google Calendar is actually kind of new to me. So.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure that when you put in an event that's happening, you can set it to give you. Let me see. I'm gonna look right now because I know that on a regular calendar it does this where it gives you. You can set it to give you an alert. Let's see here. Yeah.
You know what? I did set it I did set an alert, Misty. I'm looking at it now, but it says 10 minutes before as email. So I think it sent me an email.
Email. Okay. Well, I would shift that.
Like an alarm.
Okay. Well, what I would also do in addition to that, so it is on the Google Maps, that what I do, every single event that I do, and sometimes it gets annoying getting all these alerts, but I'll have an alert go off 15 minutes before the event, an hour before the event, and sometimes the day before the event. So it's just like programmed in my mind what's happening, you know? So that's just one little easy tweak to do right away. So again, change the notifications in your phone. And then I would sit down, and there's three things. Updating the notifications on your Google Calendar. The second is to get into the habit of they take it in 2-week increments, map out every single thing that you're going to do, and make sure that you have somewhere plugged once a week where you have self-care practice. Once a week for an hour. That's so doable. We need way more than that, but it's better than nothing starting off.
Yeah.
Can you commit to that? An hour once a week?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. And so like, so you can sit down with your father, with your mom and say, okay, like just to confirm that those are the days you're going to pick up the kids so that you know exactly what's happening within those 2 week, within that 2-week time frame. And again, making sure that you put it in your calendar and that you get the notification.
Yes.
What was the other thing I wanted to suggest? I think that was it. The self-care is imperative because that's the only way that you're going to be able to sustain yourself. Because when you're tired and you're worn down, your guard is down, and then you're not on top of it, and then you're even more susceptible to miss dates. And then it becomes this downward spiral. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The 15 minutes is up.
Already? You must be because I talk so much. Sorry.
No. This is what it's all about. Just so I can hear what's going on. And again, like the whole concept here is just to give you just a couple of tools, because if I give you like a whole bunch of tools, it's just going to be counterproductive, right? So just 3 to start off with. Your Google Calendar, planning 2 weeks, do 2-week increments of mapping out every single thing that you're doing, even down to your me time, and then making sure that you commit to your me time. 1 hour once a week.
I can do that.
Yeah. And I want to leave you with this, with 2 different quotes here that I thought were really profound. And this is from the Master Life Coach Brooke Castillo. The more you plan, the more free you will be. Okay?
Wow.
Actually, there's 3 quotes. The more you plan, the more you'll be able to deliver the results you want. Okay. And I can send these to you, sweetheart. You don't have to write those down. I can email it to you. And the
Okay.
last most important thing, especially as entrepreneurs, you want to run your life is if you are the most important person you respect and love. Okay. So like if you had a date with, say that you were going to have a lunch date with the Dalai Lama, just or marry or just someone that you highly respect, you're most likely you're not going to not go or show up a half an hour late, or flake out on that person. But when it comes to us, it's so easy for us just to kind of like disregard ourselves. So we need to start thinking ourselves as if we are the most respectable person in our life. And then from there, it'll just make it more easier. You'll be able to have healthier time management by default when you approach it from that perspective.
I agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree with that.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to email you those quotes. I'm going to email you the 3 different suggestions that I shared with you today. Okay. Is there anything else in conclusion that you want to just share, or like anything you want to regurgitate back?
No, I think that this was good. And I think that even just my running late was just like, was like a kind of like a wake up to, okay, well, what's missing? Like you did what you're supposed to do, right? But still just missing the little things. So I think that this was a good real life example of, what happens when you don't do certain things, and how to do better, and so I'm grateful, and I appreciate you taking time out to, just to work with me and to share the information that you've learned, to help other people. So I appreciate it.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And I strongly feel though, sis, that the like missing the schedule, like missing the dates, or like, oh, I thought it was this time when it was really that time. My intuition is telling me that this is coming from a place of fatigue. And this is why the self-care is imperative. If you can have that downtime, even if it's once a week, then you'll have more energy, and you won't find, and then your mind will be a little bit more sharp. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, and I feel like it's been a foggy week, and I feel like even today was a foggy day. So like I did have to do some things this morning just to kind of like kind of get out of my own way. You know what I'm saying? And then like there was like a small gas leak in the house as well. So there was like fumes, and I was trying to air out the house. And so it was kind of like, I think I got kind of thrown off by that because we had to end up having PG&E come out and do a check real quick. And so it like literally kind of rushed me through some things that I wanted to move through slower this morning because of that, So I think that it started off pretty good, but then the whole gas leak thing was just, it kind of threw a wrench in there. So, but even still, I still want to, like, even after I get off this call, I know I'm going to have to take a moment to recalibrate, I guess would be the right thing to say. Like just I'll probably go sit outside for a minute and just take some deep breaths and just to kind of refocus, because it's like in my, because it's like when you're late, then you're beating yourself up and you're like I knew I had to be there, so then I have to go through all of that forgiving of myself, and so and I think, and it's just one of those things where I think most of us, it's not that we don't know what to do. And I think especially with people who work with other people, who coach other people, who help other people, we are people of service. It's not that we don't know what to do. It's that I think that it's sometimes we just need to hear somebody that we know that cares about us, or sees us struggling, telling us, hey, maybe you need to take a break, or why don't you try doing this, and like I said, it's not something we don't know, but I think that we may not just be aware of the space that we're in as we are moving. And so this was like, even though it was a short amount of time, it was intentional, it was powerful, it was genuine. And, so it's, yeah, I know what space I need to be in and what I need to do to get back in. And it's like, I just need a push. So this was my little, my little nudge, like turn your notifications on, Roni. And the thing is, I did it, I did it, but I didn't do it in the way that it should have been done. But, this is just like, okay, we got it, so it's just a bump in the road.
Yeah.
Little tweaks here and there.
Tweaks here and there. Yeah. You're absolutely right. At the end of the day, we're all just remembering. because we already know. We're just remembering. So, and I just want to warn you that you're gonna have more days where you're gonna have to continue to recalibrate and continue. But just keep loving yourself through the process. Keep forgiving yourself in the process. That's what this is all about. So, if you can leave with that, sis.
Yes, I definitely will. Thank you so much, Misty.
I love you, Roni. Okay, Mama. All right. Thank you again. All right. Have a beautiful
evening. I'll talk to you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Peace.
Bye.
Okay, everyone. So I hope that you were able to walk away with some type of gem when it comes to time management, because we are all struggling with time management in some way or another. So again, I hope that you were inspired from this. Thank you all for tuning in and listening. And I look forward to holding space for another sister coming up soon and hot coaching with MystyMoon. Okay, until then, take care, everybody. Peace. All right, end of the podcast.